Welcome to tonight's top news stories from around the world. You are watching Millennium News Hour and I am Tanziba Naurin. Let's get started with the headlines making waves right now. Harris and Trump locked in tight battle across swing states. Harris and Trump battle for crucial Pennsylvania as election nears. Trump criticizes Cheney, suggests she would drop war stance under threat. Trump and Vance criticize transgender rights in final campaign push. "62 million votes cast early, Harris and Trump locked in close race." Mayor Adams takes action on subway surfing, calls for public help. Manhattan's iconic Village Halloween Parade celebrates 51 years of spooky fun. Two killed, 7 injured in Halloween shooting in downtown Orlando. "8,000 North Korean troops positioned near Ukraine, US issues warning." Russian court sentences former US consulate worker over Ukraine war accusations. Maradona's children unveil memorial site plans to honor football legend. And Sabalenka's lead faces challenge as Swiatek fights for top ranking. You are listening to Headlines Now. News in detail. Recent polls revealed a tight race between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump in key swing states as the 2024 election nears. Harris led slightly in critical northern states, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and Michigan, though the margin in most battlegrounds remained within 2.5 points. According to a Harris X Forbes poll released Thursday, Harris held a narrow 49% to 48% lead over Trump across 7 battlegrounds, though 14% of voters were still undecided, suggesting potential shifts ahead. In North Carolina, Harris led by just 1 point in a recent CNN SSRS poll, while Trump held narrow leads in other surveys. In Georgia, Trump was ahead in multiple polls, leading by 1.6 points in 538's average. Pennsylvania remained extremely close, with Harris and Trump each tied at 48% in recent polls, while Michigan saw Harris with a slight lead. Harris was also narrowly ahead in Wisconsin and Nevada, while Trump led in Arizona by about 2 points. With both candidates vying for swing state support, undecided voters may play a crucial role in determining the final outcome of this close race. Kamala Harris and Donald Trump are locked in a close race in Pennsylvania, a vital battleground with 19 electoral votes that could decide the election. Harris recently addressed supporters in Philadelphia, urging them to vote, and confidently predicted a victory. Just a day earlier, Trump assured his crowd in State College that he too would win the state. With only days left until the election, both campaigns are focusing their efforts on key areas. Democrats aim to boost turnout in Philadelphia and suburbs, hoping to secure votes among women and college-educated residents. Republicans, meanwhile, are focusing on rural areas and working-class voters. Democratic groups like Unite Here have already knocked on over 1 million doors in Pennsylvania to support Harris. Young voters in Philadelphia are also a focus, with organizers working on college campuses to ensure they vote. Despite Harris's extensive ground campaign, Trump's rallies continue drawing large crowds. The latest polls show Pennsylvania as a toss-up with a slim lead for Trump. The outcome here remains uncertain as undecided voters hold the key in this tight race. At a recent event, former President Donald Trump made controversial remarks about former Republican Representative Liz Cheney, a frequent critic. Trump claimed Cheney would not be so quick to support wars if guns were trained on her face, questioning her stance as a war hawk. The comments came in an on-stage interview with Tucker Carlson, where Trump also insulted President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris. He further noted that he would let Robert F. Kennedy Jr., a prominent vaccine skeptic, lead healthcare policy in a future administration, giving Kennedy free rein on issues like vaccines and pesticides. Cheney, campaigning for Harris, responded by labeling Trump as vindictive and warned against his leadership. Trump then argued on social media that Cheney wouldn't have the guts to fight personally. Former Representative Gabby Giffords urged Republicans to condemn Trump's remarks, citing their dangerous tone. Trump also proposed radical spending cuts, claiming Elon Musk could help reduce federal expenses by $2 trillion, though specifics were unclear. Former President Donald Trump intensified his focus on opposing transgender rights as a central message for his campaign before Election Day. At recent rallies, Trump mocked transgender individuals and criticized transgender inclusion in schools and women's sports, a stance met with applause from his supporters. His campaign ads also targeted Vice President Kamala Harris for her support of transgender rights. Trump's running mate, J.D. Vance, also spoke critically about transgender issues, claiming that some white teenagers might identify as transgender to gain access to elite universities. Vance argued this shift stems from a woke mindset, sparking controversy in the campaign's closing days. Harris has mostly avoided responding directly to these attacks but highlighted Trump's record. She noted that during his presidency, policies allowing transgender medical care for military members and federal prisoners were already in place. Americans are divided on transgender rights, with many supporting sports restrictions while also opposing bans on gender-affirming medical care. Civil rights groups worry that Trump's proposed policies could undermine LGBTQ rights if he returns to office. Trump has promised to push for laws defining only two genders and banning gender-related medical interventions for minors nationwide. We will be back after a short break. Till then, stay with us. This world continuously revolving around various events. Every minute, every second, something is happening somewhere around the globe, and you want to get connected to that event or to that specific moment. Here we come, Millennium News Hour, to get you connected with top USA and international trending news, which includes local news, political news, world news, business news, health and science-related news, entertainment news, sports news, and so on. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for OLED TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV, and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network, and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with Millennium News Hour to get the world news on your feast. Welcome back to Millennium News Hour. With over 62 million votes cast early in the 2024 US election, the race between Democrat Kamala Harris and Republican Donald Trump has grown increasingly competitive. Both campaigns have emphasized early voting, with prominent Democrats, including Harris's running mate Tim Walz, former President Barack Obama, and outgoing President Joe Biden, already casting their ballots. Trump, who had previously questioned early voting, urged his supporters to vote at their convenience. Record early voting numbers have emerged in battleground states like Georgia, where 3.5 million voters, nearly 45% of registered voters, have already voted. Experts note that this surge in early voting can help campaigns target undecided voters in the final days. Polling suggests Harris leads among female voters, who make up 55% of early votes in key states, including Michigan, Georgia, and Colorado. Republicans have pointed to a rise in their own supporters voting early, a shift from prior trends. Officials like Georgia's Brad Raffensperger stressed the importance of a fair voting process, while analysts cautioned against drawing conclusions based on early voting alone. With election day approaching, both parties remain focused on securing remaining votes. New York City Mayor Eric Adams urged residents to call 911 if they see subway surfing, emphasizing safety after recent tragic incidents. He and city officials highlighted a new take approach to prevent these dangerous acts. Recently, a young New Yorker lost their life and another was injured due to subway surfing. Using 911 call data, the NYPD deployed drones and field teams to high-risk areas. Drones help locate subway surfers, allowing officers to stop the train at the next station. So far, this program has saved over 100 lives, many of them teenagers. The city also launched the Subway Surfing Kills Ride Inside, Stay Alive campaign involving public schools, the NYPD, and other agencies. Created by students, the campaign includes posters, social media posts, and anti-surfing messages on metro cards to reach young people effectively. Additionally, Mayor Adams filed a lawsuit against social media companies, accusing them of promoting harmful trends like subway surfing. The lawsuit aims to hold these platforms accountable for impacting youth safety. Officials plan to increase safety campaigns and enforcement to end subway surfing. On October 31st, Manhattan's streets came alive with the grand 51st Annual Village Halloween Parade celebration. Starting from Canal Street and stretching along 6th Avenue up to 16th Street, thousands of spectators and participants gathered to enjoy the colorful and exciting Halloween festivities. The parade featured an array of amazing costumes, from intricate designs to traditional Halloween outfits, showcasing a wide variety of creative looks. Marching bands, dance groups, giant puppets, and themed floats moved along 6th Avenue, filling the area with a joyful and vibrant atmosphere. Many people carried colorful banners and lights, making West Village glow with festive energy. The memorable moments from this massive event, especially around Houston Street and 6th Avenue, were captured by cameraman Mujahidul Islam, with coverage by Millennium News 24 CEO Mr. Taufader Noor.
Happy Halloween, everyone!
Halloween Parade, 6th Avenue, West Village, Manhattan, downtown, city of New York. Millennium News 24, Taufader Noor, New York City.
2 people were killed and 7 others were injured in a shooting in downtown Orlando during Halloween celebrations. Police arrested a 17-year-old suspect who faces 2 charges of first-degree murder and 6 counts of attempted murder. Surveillance footage showed the suspect firing into a large crowd near Central Boulevard and Orange Avenue, where thousands were gathered. Orlando Police Chief Eric Smith stated that officers quickly responded, tackling the suspect despite the chaotic scene. The victims, aged 18 to 39, included 6 with gunshot injuries and 1 woman who was trampled while fleeing. All injured were reported to be in a stable condition after being treated at Orlando Medical Center. In response, Orlando Mayor Buddy Dyer declared a state of emergency, set a 1 a.m. curfew, and halted alcohol sales after midnight for 7 days. Dyer noted that recent changes in state gun laws may have contributed to increased firearms in crowded areas, expressing frustration over ongoing gun violence. We'll be back after a short break. Till then, stay with us. This world continuously revolving around various events. Every minute, every second, something is happening somewhere around the globe, and you want to get connected to that event or to that specific moment. Here we come, Millennium News Hour, to get you connected with top USA and international trending news, which includes local news, political news, world news, business news, health and science-related news, entertainment news, sports news, and so on. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for OLED TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV, and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network, and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with Millennium News Hour to get the world news on your feast. Welcome back to Millennium News Hour. Now it's time for global updates. The United States reported that around 8,000 North Korean soldiers are stationed in Russia near Ukraine and may soon join the war. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken announced that about 10,000 North Korean troops arrived in Russia, with most sent to the Kursk region on Ukraine's border for training. According to Blinken, North Korean soldiers received training in artillery, drones, and infantry tactics, preparing them for frontline deployment. This marks the first large-scale involvement of foreign troops in the Russia-Ukraine conflict since it began in 2022. Blinken called this deployment a sign of Russia's desperation as Moscow seeks support for its troops. Blinken also urged China to help prevent North Korea's involvement, pointing to a recent discussion with Chinese officials. Meanwhile, North Korea tested a long-range missile, raising concerns about its military capabilities and a possible deal with Russia. The US, South Korea, and NATO warned that any North Korean soldiers fighting in Ukraine would be legitimate targets. Ukraine's president suggested the deployment could start within days, adding that Russia might use North Korean troops to limit its own casualties. A Russian court sentenced Robert Shunov, a former US consulate employee in Vladivostok, to 4 years and 10 months in prison on charges of cooperating with a foreign state. Shunov, a Russian citizen, was arrested in May 2023, with the FSB accusing him of collecting information about Russia's military actions in Ukraine, regional military recruitment, and its effect on protests ahead of the 2024 presidential election. The U.S. Embassy condemned the charges, calling them false and unfounded. The State Department clarified that Shunov's work only involved summarizing news from Russian media. The charges fall under a new Russian law penalizing confidential cooperation with a foreign state with a maximum 8-year sentence. Shunov was also fined 1 million rubles and will face restrictions for 16 months after his release. Russia has also detained other Americans and dual nationals recently, including a 72-year-old American sentenced for allegedly fighting for Ukraine. This case highlights rising tension as Russia has recently arrested multiple Americans on various charges, including espionage, as the Ukraine conflict continues. Let's have a look on today's sports stories. The children of Argentine football legend Diego Maradona announced plans to open a memorial site named the M10 Memorial in Buenos Aires. The site, located in the popular Puerto Madero area, aims to welcome 1 million visitors annually starting in 2025, according to its official website. Maradona's daughter Telma explained during a presentation that the site would let fans bring him a flower and honor his memory. Access to the 1,000-square-meter memorial will be free for Argentines, with optional donations granting the chance to place a photo on a heritage wall. Telma said that she and Maradona's other children founded the Maradona Foundation to preserve their father's legacy. Recently, a court approved the transfer of Maradona's remains from a cemetery to this new memorial site, allowing fans to pay respects to Argentina's great idol. Maradona, who died in November 2020 at age 60, had battled addiction for years. He was recovering from brain surgery when he passed away due to a heart attack. A court is currently investigating if medical negligence might have contributed to his death. Aryna Sabalenka and Iga Swiatek faced off at the WTA Finals in Riyadh for the top year-end tennis ranking. Sabalenka, who held a 1,046-point lead, returned to world number 1 last week after Swiatek lost ranking points. For Swiatek to reclaim the top spot, she needed to defend her WTA Finals title. Sabalenka, this year's Australian and US Open champion, was eager to stay number 1 after narrowly losing it last season. She expressed surprise at regaining the spot before the tournament. Swiatek, coming back from a break and with new coach Wilm Fisat, was confident and practiced with Sabalenka before the matches. The finals in Riyadh marked a historic first in Saudi Arabia, running until November 9, featuring the top 8 singles players and 8 doubles teams. The tournament also welcomed players like Zheng Qinwen, who had a strong season and was the first Chinese qualifier since Li Na in 2013. We will be back after a short break. Till then, stay with us. This world continuously revolving around various events. Every minute, every second, something is happening somewhere around the globe, and you want to get connected to that event or to that specific moment. Here we come, Millennium News Hour, to get you connected with top USA and international trending news, which includes local news, political news, world news, business news, health and science-related news, entertainment news, sports news, and so on. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for OLED TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV, and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network, and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with Millennium News Hour to get the world news on your feed. Welcome back to Millennium News Hour. Now it's time for business news. Today's New York stock close price is 19,253.54. The NYSE Composite is increased by 14.59 points or 0.08%. Tokyo stock close price is 38,053.67. The Nikkei 225 index is decreased by 1,027.58 points or 2.63%. Shanghai stock close price is 3,272.01. The Shanghai index is decreased by 7.81 points or 0.24%. Hong Kong stock close price is 20,506.43. The Hang Seng Index is increased by 189.10 points or 0.93%. Bombay stock close price is 79,724.12. The Sensex index is decreased by 218.06 points or 0.27%. Let's have a look on today's weather forecast. Before finishing today's news, let's hear out the headlines again. Harris and Trump locked in tight battle across swing states. Harris and Trump battle for crucial Pennsylvania as election nears. Trump criticizes Cheney, suggests she would drop war stance under threat. Trump and Vance criticize transgender rights in final campaign push. "62 million votes cast early, Harris and Trump locked in close race." Mayor Adams takes action on subway surfing, calls for public help. Manhattan's iconic Village Halloween Parade celebrates 51 years of spooky fun. Two killed, 7 injured in Halloween shooting in downtown Orlando. "8,000 North Korean troops positioned near Ukraine, US issues warning." Russian court sentences former US consulate worker over Ukraine war accusations. Maradona's children unveil memorial site plans to honor football legend. And Sabalenka's lead faces challenge as Swiatek fights for top ranking. That's all for today. Keep watching Millennium News Hour for latest news update. To stay updated, like our Facebook page, subscribe our YouTube channel and visit our websites. Our website addresses are www.millenniumnews24.com and www.millenniumtv24.com. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for OLED TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia, available with the Sky Network, Worldwide Jadoo TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BT Network and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with us for all the latest news worldwide. Thank you.